First, I'd like to thank each of you for your time and consideration for funding in the 2023-2024 year. For the past year, Hawkins County EMS has faced many new obstacles with funding and operations. But with the joint efforts between the Hawkins County Commission and Hawkins County EMS, we've been able to overcome these obstacles. The Hawkins County Commission was gracious enough to allocate $300,000 this past fiscal year from the baby doe funds for the purchase of life-saving equipment. The new cardiac monitors and chest compression devices have already proved beneficial numerous times. Hawkins County EMS has provided 36 years of dedicated ambulance service to the citizens and visitors of Hawkins County. Hawkins County EMS has requested additional funding and/or a quasi-governmental agreement / joint venture in the past years. I know that at the last Public Safety Committee meeting, it was approved to forward on the extension of the current franchise agreement to explore the option of a joint venture. With that being said, I hope this budget request does not deter the potential option of a joint venture. This budget request is what Hawkins County EMS needs, not wants, to ensure the sustainability of what Hawkins County EMS currently provides to the citizens of Hawkins County. The EMS in general is approaching critical levels of sustainability without local support. Each service is competing with one another to provide increased pay, increased benefits, work-life balance, and many other appealing factors. Hawkins County EMS attempts to provide the most appealing package as possible to recruit and retain employees, but ultimately pay and benefits can only be as good as the revenue to support it. This year so far, Hawkins County EMS has received 4 resignations from full-time employees. These employees have went to other counties that provide increased pay and benefits, saying mainly the TCRS retirement program that those services provide. Unfortunately, I believe that others may follow suit if something is not done. Many can second guess Hawkins County EMS or any other agency for that matter. I'm definitely not saying that we're perfect or don't make mistakes, but who could say that? Hawkins County EMS strives to provide the best service possible for this county and its citizens, with increased and increasing expenses to provide an essential service to the citizens of Hawkins County. Something must be done. It is becoming more and more difficult, if not outright impossible, to operate a non-profit ambulance service strictly based off revenue. It takes local government support, either funding or joint venture, to allow eligibility for added or sought-after benefits. Thank you for your valuable time today, and I appreciate the joint efforts from Hawkins County Commission and Hawkins County EMS to assist in providing the best ambulance service possible for our citizens.
So I think I've got some questions, but I'd like to ask the committee if they want to ask anything before I do, because they may take my questions away.
Well, so my question would be, going, $600,000 will be given you, that's a substantial increase, right? You say that it is needed to sustain sustain the operation. Can you elaborate on that a little more? Why the need is what it'll be used for?
The need is, we've got to maintain our equipment for one. Always having to update it or purchase replacements for the equipment that we have, as well as attempting to increase pay or benefits to be more attractive to retain or recruit new employees to ensure that we have the people to run those trucks.
So mainly employee wages, benefits. Would you say that is the larger part of it?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, Director Merle, just to get some things on the record. So you do seek out insurance billing for the services that you provide, correct?
That is correct.
How often do you receive payment? Let me back up. For those insurance billings, I know that you receive payment, but how does it work when you bill Medicaid, Medicare? Is there a set rate that they pay you, or?
Yes, there is a set rate.
Okay. Does that set rate cover in reality the service that you provide?
Yes.
Or? Okay. how far short do you think they're falling compared to the service that you provide? Let's say you pick me up, I'm having a heart attack, I have Teen Care. So how far short are you gonna fall by serving me?
With Teen Care, probably falling short about 60 to 70%.
So they're only paying about 40%.
Yes.
For those that are private payers, how often do you receive the full cost, the full billing from private payers?
We never usually receive full payment. Private insurance, workers' comp, those are our highest paying insurance carriers. They're paying approximately 75–80%.
How many of those that you serve are Medicaid, Medicare? Or not how many, what percentage would you guess would be Medicaid, Medicare?
Medicaid, Medicare, that would be about 90, between 90 and 95%.
So 90 and 95% of the services that you provide, you're only recouping 40% of the overall cost.
That's correct.
Kind of hard to run business.
It is. Currently, Medicare is doing a study that every ambulance service in the United States is having to do. Ours just has to be submitted by the end of this month. Then there's still 2 more years of surveys that have to be completed before they compile all that information and then come up with a recommendation of what they need to do to sustain EMS in the United States.
So of the 5 to 10% of those are private payers that have no insurance, you do have to take some of those to collections, is that correct?
Yes.
How often are you in collections court?
Every month. Well, that I go.
Well, just the agency.
Every month.
So what, this is a completely hypothetical ballpark, okay? So I'm not saying that this is what we're doing, but let's say that Hawkins County Commission were to pull EMS in and treat it like an administrative department, it just becomes a county function. In terms of cost, if we're funding you at an extra $529,000 this year, I would assume that in years to come, we're going to have to increase that because it is what it is. I mean, if we give you $529,000 this year, I can't imagine a world where you're going to come back next year and say, I only need 30, or I only need, what was it?
I feel that would be great. But
You know,
unfortunately, with the times that we're in,
65. So you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Once we issue this, to me, it's not a recurring expense, but it most likely will be. So why not just take it over and make it a county agency altogether?
I don't oppose that. I feel that the joint venture toward it remains a nonprofit, which makes you eligible for certain grant opportunities, where a fully 100% funded county service isn't eligible for that. They're eligible for other grants, but if you do a joint venture, you're eligible for both.
Eric, you have any thought?
In the past, we explored making them TCRS eligible. At the time, I consulted with Justin Ball, who's our TCS rep in the area, and he said they were not eligible because we didn't have a joint venture in place. But in conversations we've had recently with Mr. Merle and examples from other counties that they've seen where they run their EMS, that does change that. So typically, because they're reimbursed through patient billing, it doesn't make them a good risk for TCRS. TCRS is very selective who they let in. But with either option, being fully governmental or being a quasi-governmental entity, it changes that restriction to TCRS.
So this is probably the largest increase we have, largest request. If we don't approve the $529,000 increase to go to $600,000, are you going to be soluble for the coming future? Are you going to be able to continue to operate?
I can't guarantee the continuation of 5 trucks, 24 hours a day in a day truck. I can't. Due to the fact of the workforce and then having to backfill with so much overtime, that's going to eat into what little bit of revenue.
So if we were not to fund the total request that you're asking for and only fund a portion of it, I guess let's talk about negotiation here. What's the least you could take to keep working?
I mean, I do know that In previous years, we've requested them at 300,000. I believe at 300,000, it would be extremely tight. But it would be showing some improvement to hopefully contain the ones that are potentially looking elsewhere and be able to hopefully cut down some overtime costs as well.
I'm gonna stop asking so many questions, because if I do, I'm just gonna keep going. Does anyone else have any other questions?
So I have one last question. The joint venture thing that's been discussed, which I have no details on that at all, I don't truly even understand it, but whether we took it over as a county agency or we did a joint venture, the truth is, it still doesn't solve the problem of only collecting 40% of the cost of doing business, right? I mean, we would have to supplement all of that. That's what you're saying. I mean, you're talking about adding.
The issue is the federal level and state level really, because it carries state level. So that's the issue with the reimbursement at the federal level and state level. It's not the local level's problem, because you don't supplement no insurance policy.
Well, we do, because we have
Well,
something that's.
right, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So we kind of, that's the thing, because they are not, and being conservative Republicans like we are, we don't believe the federal government's operating the way it should be. But on the other end, they're not giving you fair market value for the services you provide. So then it's left to the local taxpayers now to try to make up that difference. So yeah, we kind of are subsidizing what they're refusing. Okay, Director Merle, thank you so much.
One question. What is the hourly rate that you pay your employees?
It varies. Obviously, administrators or a supervisor makes more than just a paramedic that's on the truck that we have.
Paramedic.
So paramedic starts out at $13.78 an hour.
So you lost into the jail. Jail's what, 1538?
No, I'm not lost any in jail since.
So, so most of the money they make is overtime, probably like where I work. So, in an average week, how many hours does the average employee on the truck put in for overtime?
Okay, for overtime,
Work?
well, the way our schedule works, it varies from each patient. So you can vary from 16 hours of overtime to 60 hours of overtime a patient every 2 weeks.
Any other questions? Thank you, Director.
All right, thank you all. Yeah, have a good rest of your day.
Two.